and dedicated educators. I am your hostess, Ronette Bryan. I'm here with Empowered Educators Podcast, formerly or under the umbrella of Educators with Oil Podcasts, where our motto is empowering educators, enriching futures. I am still here offering encouragement, strategies, resources, whatever it takes to inspire and empower you to excel in your teaching career. So let's get started today. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, for watching this episode. Next week, I'll be back live. So I think it's next week. Next week, it should be, I'm not sure. Now I have to look at the calendar. It's going to be the last Friday, last Tuesday in the month. I will be here to live, and I am hoping that someone joins me, that you join me, my listeners join in, and uh, let's get together and knock out this last week before our spring break. Some people are maybe on spring break. I don't know how far before the Easter time you go on spring break, but I am here next week live. I'm going to say next week. I need to look at my calendar because I keep saying next week. The fourth Tuesday of the month. Let me see the calendar. Absolutely. Next week on the 26th, I will be live. So I'm looking forward to you joining me and us discussing what we're going to do during that our off time. What we're going to do during our spring break. Are we going to work, catch up on some grading, or are we going to relax? Are we going to totally go on vacation? I know last year I went on a cruise and I found several teachers that work with me on a cruise. People who work with me coming back on the plane with us. So they weren't even on the same plane as me, but on the same cruise as me, but we came back the same time. So I just want you to join me. Let's knock this last week of March out, and let's discuss relaxing or powering up, going in overdrive, whatever it is that you do during that break time. So today we're going to talk about wrapping up the third market period. In my district, we're wrapping up the third market period soon. I'm not exactly sure when. I think it's in April. I know it's in April. I don't say I think. I know it's in April, sort of towards the beginning, the second week or third week, I think. So we'll be wrapping up that third market period, going into the fourth market period. So what do we need to do? What do we need to focus on? Our reflections and our strategies for the final stretch of the year, that last market period. I know if you live in the South, you may already be in that last market period because you start a month before us. So I know you may already be there. So what did you do to plan for to keep the students engaged, to plan meaningful lessons that actually assess? So right now, I think before we go into that market period, just wrapping up the third market period, we need to reflect, and it's important to reflect, on the student's progress and where you see growth, and where the growth is needed, because we want our students to be ready for the next, grade level, next teacher. We don't want teachers coming to us saying, or not even they won't even come to us. They will tell other people, I get her students or his students, and they're always behind. I mean, I get all my students behind, so I get two maybe ready for second grade, and one who's ready for third grade almost when they get there. So I don't blame a teacher. I blame the system. Period. So we want to discuss the significance of celebrating those achievements and addressing areas that need improvement. We want to do that this end of the third market period, so we can go into the fourth market period already to address all the issues and assess where the students are and make sure they're ready. We have to get ready for the final assessments. We want to make sure we are effectively grading, that we are using a balanced variety of assessments. We're also using homework, class participation, homework completion. What else will we want to make sure? We have quizzes and tests. And class participation. Some students don't want to participate. They want to sit in the class and just take it in. or not taking it, they're not participating. But we want to make sure, just say at the end of the class, in math, every day in math, we have a quiz on what we learned. So the quiz is exactly what we did in class. And I don't have to do any of that grading, thank God, because it is right there on the computer. It's computer based. So it's 5 questions. I have some students who want to rush through and things like that. No, you're not rushing through. We're going to get this done, right? So we want to make sure that the students are being assessed correctly. Let's review their work thoroughly. Make sure we didn't miss anything. They may know how to do something, or that way, if we review their work thoroughly, we might find they can solve equations this way, but they keep missing that point. Like, just say it's 2-digit, 3-digit vertical addition, right? It's vertical addition where they have to carry a 10 or 100, to the next value, right? To the next place value. So they may forget to add that in. Just say it's 27 plus 19. They may get the 6 and forget what to do with that 1 from the 16. So there's things that we could address that. Oh, you keep forgetting this. In your equations, you keep forgetting that part, and we want to have meaningful feedback with our students. We want to have conversations with our students and our parents. Let it be meaningful and let it be timely. So you wait 2-3 weeks after you've had an assessment. Students forgot, you're moved on to something else. You can't correct it. They have no time to correct it because they don't get the help, because you already moved on to something else. So let it be timely. Grade the work. I know you probably can see behind me that red bin that has homework in it. That's getting up there. So we have to make sure it's timely. That's why I like the quizzes every day. That might be classwork. I have some classwork that I'm working on. Some classwork that they didn't finish. I put it up on the bulletin board so that at the end of today they could finish that what's on the over my left shoulder. So we want to make sure we have that. And then we want to close gaps and provide support, because how are we going to do that? What are we going to do? That's when we get in those small groups, and we get into those small groups and work on the strategies and work on building up where the student is lagging, where the student is behind and that maybe not understand. Maybe we have to reteach something. Doing small group, you go over everything with the large group, but you find out students are lacking in this area. Grab small groups, sit together, maybe you 2-3 students, knock that out, teach them, let them give it back to you, let them explain things to you. There's many ways. My students love reading together in their groups. When we separate in our groups for reading, they love reading together and then doing the work together, even though sometimes I want them to do it on their own, like math. Do 2 problems on your own, and then you could work with a partner, things like that. So in reading, when we may have reading work at the back of the book or that I assign, you could look at it together, explain it to each other, and then you get to work on your own. That's some things that we need to do. And then we have to also be specific, with our students, give clear instructions so that they have the opportunity to answer the question the way it should be. Answer the question with their insight, what they understand, what they know, and then we have to also prepare for that end of the year transition, letting them know you're going to 3rd grade. What is it that your 3rd grade teacher is going to need? In my cut, I keep saying 3rd grade. Whatever grade the next grade is, what are the standards for that next grade? What will you need to know? Let's make sure you're ready right there so that when you go in, you could be prepared to learn those standards and execute so that you'll be, on track. So we'll set some clear goals. So you need to be reading whatever level. If you're an elementary student, you need to be reading whatever level. Let's push it. Let's do reading every day. Let's read in the classroom every day. Let's answer questions. Let's dig into a story and explain what it means so that, once you get to that next grade level, you'll be ready to work on summaries of a story, or if you have to write summaries and they have to be 3 paragraphs, you have to give details and facts on the story that you read or a subject. You'll be able to write 3 paragraphs. Maybe we work on 1 paragraph, or maybe you already do 3 paragraphs in next grade. They talk about research papers. So something like that, 2 or 3 page research papers. So let's ready our students. And how can we keep our students engaged? Engaged. So by doing that, we will reflect on our teaching strategies, our teaching practices, because sometimes we may get off track, or we may forget things. Our practices, maybe we need to keep notes, not a whole drawn out script, but you may have to keep notes. I have to remember that. These are the 3 points that I'm trying to make. These are the 3 lessons in this lesson. This is what we're trying to cover. Make sure you have that. Also, again, I can't say it enough. Celebrate accomplishments. When somebody does something or has accomplished a goal that they have set, like I said with these SMART goals, accomplish a goal that we have set, acknowledge that. That is something that we as educators need to do. So, and then again, we keep on talking about this. Connect personally with your students. Sometimes we don't know how, or we forget, or student has frustrated us there. So we want to connect with them, talk to them about their work. I can connect with my students with reading or math because it's great. Like we talk about math, let's talk about you're good with numbers or you're good with money. So let's talk about, can I send you to the store? My kids are little. It's easy, kind of. Sometimes, hey, I shouldn't say that. Sometimes it's not so easy, but it's something that we could do. We reflect on our practices, and even encourage collaboration. That should be a practice of ours, that we encourage collaboration among the students. That they can collaborate with each other and do project work. That is something that project work I love, because you can put it all together. Like last year, my students did 2 years in a row. My students did a farmer's market. After they learned money, it was so perfect. And then they learned about buying and selling and trading. So we learned you can have a farmer's market and people can negotiate the price of whatever it is that you're selling. And so I printed out, used my color ink, we printed out pictures of fruit from their countries or whatever country they chose. And then they had their prices, they put their prices on there. And then we sold to each other, then we sold to other classes came in, our principals came in, different teachers who were free during the day came in during our farmers market time. And that was awesome because it was collaboration among students. Some people shared a stand, some people shared their stand awnings. I call it an awning, it's like your advertisement, like what would be in front of your stand, your sale prices, your pricing and all that. And so some people collaborated on that, and that was awesome. Let's talk about also share that with the parents. Let the parents know what we're working on. We probably should have been doing that all year long. That is something too. Again, I'm getting looking at notes, and then I'm getting distracted by the whole note, right? All the notes. So look ahead to the future. Encourage the students to start planning for the next year. Like I said, you think about what are you going to need? How are you going to work the next year? Is there something that you endeavor to do? Like I want to, in the 3rd grade, I want to master multiplication and fractions, or multiplication and division. I want to master my timetables up to 12. And that's something you could show the students how they can practice now, how they can practice in the summer, things like that. Just things. What will you do to keep the students engaged? Really keep the students engaged. At the end of the year, again, setting clear goals, keeping the lessons relevant. Like I said, we're talking about money, and we're talking about buying and selling and trading. That is relevant to students. Children love to go to the store and spend somebody's money, whether they made it, whether they earned it or not. you know, um, and again, keep variety, hands-on activity, projects, discussions, multimedia. We have these great big screens where we can incorporate multimedia. Um, Offer choice. You know how you give the students, this is what you do. Give them a choice of three things. You either do this or that. You either write a summary, or you write facts, or you draw a picture and write about it. You make a story out of it. To whatever it is, you make a poster about whatever we're talking about. However they need to do it. Give them a quiz. You take either a quiz, you write a summary, or whatever it is that you want to do. Write a poem about this to let us know that you actually learned something doing this. Use technology, use interactive apps, have virtual field trips. That's something I need to do. I haven't done it. Teachers do that, like go to the farm and zoo and things like that. So maybe I'll end up doing that. I'm not sure what our next literacy. Right now we're on poems, so I don't know how long that's going to last. It should last a month, but I'm not sure. And then again, emphasize reflection among the students. Let them reflect on what it is that they're doing and that they've done. And remember also, set realistic expectations. Don't say I need everybody you're a second grade teacher. I need everybody on level L. It's N or something that they need to be. I need everybody on a level L by June. That's not realistic when they came in on an A. That's not realistic. So set realistic goals. We need to know different standards by this time. Let's see if we could do it. We need to know how to do this, and that. You should know how to tell time, whether it's AM or PM, and indicators that show that it's AM or PM. You should be able to count, subtract within 100. By the end of this month, you should be able to do that. With regrouping. You should be able to add with regrouping. You should be able to do that. So that set realistic goals. You should be able to write 5 sentences about a story that you read, without opening the book, unless you need to spell a word or two. But you should be able to do that. Then, let me see. Also, this is the main thing. You, educator, teacher, empowered educator, you absolutely need to stay motivated. How are you going to stay motivated? By having plans, setting goals, saying, this is what I want to work on with my students for the next month and a half, 2 months, however long you have. This is what I want to work on with my students. Set goals, plan it out, and once you work on it and you have a plan, you'll be motivated. Okay, this is what I want to do today. This is what I'm going to do tomorrow. This one next week. It could be general, it could be not. You have to stay motivated. The end of the year, you get tired, the kids get tired, start getting warmer outside, and the students are acting like they never, this is the first time they're going outside in 10 years or something like that. And then they come in, they can't calm down because they're so excited. We know that we can do that. So, what are we going to do for the market period? We're going to reflect and use strategies for this final stretch. We're going to finalize assessments and grading. We're going to grade fairly. We're going to close the gaps that we see. We're going to work on closing the gaps. We're going to provide support for those students who need it. Going to prepare for the end of the year transition. We're going to reflect on our practices. What could we have done better? What is it, something that we are stuck in that we could get out of and, step outside that box and do differently so that it will enhance our learning, our teaching. So remember, we're going to celebrate achievements and milestones with our students. We're going to look ahead to the future. We're going to do so many things that it looks like a lot, but it's not. It's just honing in on our job, honing in on our career, honing in on our purpose, honing in. I came to educate these students. Let me educate those students the way they need to be educated. I'm going to look at each child individually and see what it is they need, what they need, whatever it is that they need. We have this. So we're going to focus on that. So remember, I am here to offer strategies. You know, I'm going to provide you with strategies, knowledge, resources, and inspiration to excel in your profession, in our profession. We have to work together. This is a group thing. You know, I want you to have a significant impact on your students' lives. Um, we want the student to leave knowing that you have taught them. You have actually taught them. So this is what we're doing, offering practical tips. We're offering strategies, and I just want this community to be a vibrant community that has success, and we share in our successes. We share our successes. So again, thank you for tuning in with me, Ron Branham, your hostess with the mostest. Here at Empowered Educators. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. When I say share and subscribe, also comment. Tune in. I am looking forward to you tuning in a little bit more. I am so excited about what is to come with this podcast. I am so excited. So we have changed the name to open our podcast to a wider audience. So it's Empowered Educators, and I want to reach educators of all walks of life with this podcast. And I am excited that you're going to share, that you're going to offer insights as well. And if you are interested in coming on as a guest, let me know. I am always excited because every teacher has insights, every teacher has strategies, every teacher can offer some kind of support or some motivation for other teachers, because we all have something. Sometimes you may even have a subject that you want to come in and come on and speak about. So whenever I'm live, if I can figure out how to let you join in, even if you didn't ask or let me know prior, I'm going to figure out how to allow people to join in and come in and talk about and add to the conversation that we have. I'm going to work on that this week, actually. So again, I am Ronette Branham, hostess of Empowered Educators. Thank you for joining me, and have a blessed day.